For the past few days about this new platform, it's called Threads. I caught up earlier with Dr. Laura Higson-Bliss, social media expert and lecturer in law at the University of Kiel, to ask her to explain exactly what Threads is.
Yes, so Threads is a new social media platform that has recently been released by Meta, the better known as Facebook, which has created this platform in competition with Twitter. It takes a very similar format to Twitter in that you put out a statement in words, it's limited to 500 characters, and if you look at the two platforms, they are very similar in design. And the purpose is to try and interact through conversations publicly online, as opposed to photographs, which is currently being done through Instagram.
It is being described as a rival to Twitter, isn't it? I mean, if that's the case, what does it offer that Twitter doesn't?
It is definitely being seen as a rival to Twitter. With the way Twitter's gone recently, it's obviously offering you to be able to view these conversations in full. So Twitter has recently, in the last couple of days, limited the number of tweets that you can view depending on your subscription to the platform. It's also offering something new in that it's trying to create a platform where we can get conversations going, but they're trying to argue, Facebook that is, that this is a friendlier version than what Twitter actually is.
Okay. And is it a personal social media platform or a business social media? But where does it sit, do you think, Laura?
I think it actually sits between the two. So if we look at Facebook, traditionally, that's more personal. I think Twitter, when it came about, that was quite niche in that it did blend that business and personal together. And that's very much where Threads seems to be sitting. So we know that as soon as it was released, companies such as Netflix, etc., they were very quickly on there to try and set up their own Thread accounts. And we've seen that today with a lot of celebrities very quickly trying to set up those Thread accounts before other people might take their usernames.
Is this all due to the fact people are getting fed up with what Elon Musk is doing at Twitter?
Yes, I think it very much is so. We've seen a lot of issues with Twitter since it got a new ownership. So in particular, the limiting of the number of tweets that you can see. It's now a subscription-based service if you want to be able to use certain aspects of Twitter. And we know that people are reluctant to pay money to use social media platforms. So it is very much, I believe, in my opinion, will be taking over from Twitter, and we'll see that happening very, very quickly.
I read that if you decide to go on Threads and then decide to close that account, that would automatically shut your Instagram. Is that true or not?
I'm not entirely sure. They're definitely interlinked. So to get a Threads account, you have to have an Instagram account. If you block someone on your Instagram account, it will be blocked on the Threads account. So they're definitely interlinked. It will be interesting to see if they, in the future, ensure that they both work together or whether they will separate the two eventually.
What sort of people are using Threads then? Is it possible to guess somebody's age by the social media platform they use?
Yeah, so what's quite interesting actually about Threads, and it's very different to how Facebook was created, where it was, move fast and break things was very much their motto, where we see some kind of attempt to bring privacy into the design process here. So those under 18 can still use it, but they will have the maximum privacy settings available on the platform automatically, which is very different to how previous social media platforms have been created. There were still regulations in place that you have to be over the age of 12, but we know from previous conversations that's not necessarily what happens in reality.
What's going on when it comes to advertising? Do you think, Laura, there's a danger there is now so much advertising on social media, the adverts are becoming less effective than they were?
Quite possibly. Higson-Bliss. So what's quite interesting about Threads is that at the moment, they're very much saying that there's not going to be adverts until at least the end of the year. But we know that social media platforms need to make money, and the way they make money is through adverts. And I don't think we'll ever see the demise of that. It is a new form of communication. And actually, I think social media platforms need advertisement to be able to continue to work without actually imposing a cost on the user.
Finally, I'm just intrigued what you think. Are there advantages to social media and disadvantages? Where do you stand on that?
I'm personally very much in the camp that there are massive advantages to social media. It does have a dark side, I appreciate that. But I think in a world where we don't necessarily have that face-to-face contact that we used to have, particularly since COVID, a lot of us are working more hybrid, that these are a good way of connecting people, and it's a new form of connection.
There we are, Dr. Laura Higson-Bliss, social media expert and lecturer in law over at the University of Kiel. We would love to hear from